Yo, what is up? It's the
What's
Heavyist
good?
podcast, weekly worship at the altar of radness. We're here chatting about riffs every bloody week. If you're
All the
interested in
time.
really
All the
sick, heavy
time.
music, just come and hang out. You could maybe, if you fancied it, do a little like or a subscribe on the old YouTube. That would help us out massively. Other socials and things,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook don't really use that no more. But we
I mean,
have
you
got a
can
really good
come there if
Discord.
you want. Yes, come to Discord. Come join
Got a
Discord.
Discord server.
Come
As
hang
much as
out.
we are, we're a podcast. We're very much a community, Gary, and we've got loads of cool homies sharing riffs all the time. All the
Yeah,
time. It's all
absolutely, man.
separated out into little genres that you can go and have a little click around. If you literally right now don't know what to listen to, pop on down to the old Discord server and
You'll never
be
not know what to
completely
listen to
shocked.
ever again, I promise you.
Yeah, it
I
won't happen.
I love the Discord. I used to be like really active in the sort of the local music scene, but I kind of feel like the local music scene isn't so much of a thing anymore. And now it's all on the internet. And I feel like the
Yeah.
Heavyist Discord is kind of like our global local music scene. I think it's awesome. Come and join us. Come and hang out. That's
Do
the
it.
tagline. I think I might have just come up with the best tagline.
The global local music scene. What a banger, Gary. What a banger.
Copyright. I'm copyrighting that one. Son, we're here convening to talk about an absolutely phenomenal record by a phenomenal band. Let's get on with it, mate. Gaerea. They are a 5-piece black metal band from Porto in Portugal. If you don't know them, they are shrouded in secrecy unless you go on Encyclopedia Metallum, in which case you can actually find out who every single member of the band is, which
no, you can't.
Kind of burst my bubble a little bit. Let's pretend I didn't say that. They wear really cool, like they dress head to toe in black. They wear these black shrouds with their really cool like sigil logo on the front of them. They're badass. They're super cool. This is their 5th album. It's called Coma. Comes out on October the 25th through Season of Mist. So Sonny, Gaerea, we've really gone on a journey with this band, haven't we?
Oh yes, mate. Since the first stuff they put out, we have been into this band, man. Yeah. They won you over. This might well be the first black metal band that you were like, huh? Is that fair to say?
I think it's probably the second. I think I'd probably say Imperial Triumphant are the first one.
True.
They might not entirely count because they're kind of jazz and like Black and Death and all sorts of stuff. Like if we're going like
off the back of listening to Imperial Triumphant, you're not like going, oh, maybe I will check out that Spectral Wound album, are you? You're going, oh God, my brain hurts.
You're going, oh, maybe I should try acid. No, I'm not.
So yeah, I think who are we to comment on black metal, Gary? Who are we to comment on black metal? I mean, neither of me or you are dyed-in-the-wool Venom fans. We're not like Mayhem enthusiasts. Venom. See, I don't even get it right.
We don't, Emperor, Mayhem. There you go.
We're not Emperor Mayhem fans. I've seen that as well. But I'll tell you what. We went to Fortress Festival because since doing the podcast, I have absolutely grown to fully adore black metal. It never used to be something I used to delve into. Post black metal kind of got me in, like the new Minorian album. That literally was my favorite album forever, and I still absolutely adore it. And it very much sort of put down this mental block between me and black metal and getting into it as a whole and getting into further different bands. So usually me and Gary we go to festivals, as many riff lovers do, and quite often we'll go to like a ATG or a download or something like that, something. And this year we went, instead of going to ATG, we went to Fortress Festival, and there was a few reasons that we went to Fortress Festival. They're all because I told Gary we're going. And no, realistically, one of the main things that sold both of us was Gaerea, that they were playing. And that weekend we watched absolutely bloody loads of black metal bands. And it's not like, oh, some of the bands are black metal and some of the bands are death metal. It's just incredibly large amount of black metal bands, proper bloody black metal bands.
Varying levels of true cult, but they're all very much black metal bands. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we watched loads of bands, and the best band by 10 country miles was Gaerea. They put absolutely bloody everything into their performance, and they stuck out. They stuck
out, mate.
right out like
Right
giant purple bloody thumbs. It was fantastic in an ocean of people far too cool or too draped in corpse paint to actually look like they were enjoying themselves or deliver a performance that you'd actually go back and watch again visually.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were giving everything. And I think at that time I said, like, I think black metal is Gaerea for the taking, and I could not wait to see what happened with the rest of this album. And I've got to say, Gary, I am not one iota disappointed here. This is phenomenal.
This album, honestly, it's about as close to a religious experience as I think I've ever had in my life, mate. This album, it's elegiac, dude. It's like, imagine if the Seraphim replaced those stupid like long trumpet things with guitars and drums and bass and started a black metal band. Like, it's so gorgeous. Like, it is absolutely luscious. It's so bright. There's one of the things that just completely floors me about this album is all of the big like choral like group choir moments that behind so much stuff that just makes everything become 25 times bigger. Like, it's
the Batushkas, isn't it? It's the Batushkas, mate. They literally
the Batushkas, yeah.
They press the Batushka button, brother, and it fucking rules, man. I loved it.
Mate, this album is fucking incredible. It's so good. Like, they've always, to me, been like a kind of a vibe and a feel kind of band, right? Like, their songs, maybe they're quite long, sort of somewhere in the region of 10 minutes. And, you know, there's maybe 4 parts and there's a lot of just like build up and just kind of getting drawn into these big emotional moments. But the thing is they've taken all of that and then they've also found a way to condense it and turn it into bangers at the same time. Like, you don't get any, you've never had a post black metal bangers album. Like, I don't think that's ever existed in the entire history of post black metal as a thing.
No.
Like, to become like Death Heaven had to become an indie band to be able to like write bangers but Gaerea have proved that they didn't need to. They've proved that it's possible to stay in black metal and write these massive banger tunes. And like this record, it doesn't make any sense that how it works, but it's incredible. It makes me think of An Age Among Them by Renoa, which is an album that I talk about all the time. I bring it up, you're pretty sick of bloody hearing about it. One of my favorite albums of all time. But they're another band. They kind of took like, rather than, you know, post black, they were more sort of like just your kind of classic sort of post rock, but mixed with a kind of metallic sound. And they fused it together and they made it work. And this is just doing that, but they've also got a sound like a $12 million. Like, this thing sounds so expensive.
It's fantastic how beautiful it sounds.
Absolutely beautiful. It's got all of this extra, all this, like I say, the extras are like vocal layers of choirs and like, I don't know, like additional instrumentation and all this stuff that just kind of all comes together. But yet it's still not just like a big post metal, oh wow, that was a big crescendo, that was exciting. Like, it's every song's got stuff in it that makes you go, that's a hook, like that's exciting. How do they pull that off? Like, I can't even figure it out. Like, if I could figure it out, I would start a post black metal band tomorrow, I guess. But it's probably for the best that I don't try. Like, this record just makes my heart sing, man. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's magical, mate. It is. You know, you just listening to the first track, The Poet's Ballet, it starts out so soft and lovely. When those like lower tones sung hit you, you definitely weren't expecting it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But then when it kicks, it gets to this fully brilliant, bright, emotional state that others take an age to build up to. But Gaerea just erupt with the fires already lit. Like, and the vocal performance is just so powerful. It's no bollocks. Dude. It's so full-bodied and textured. Like, it's like a performance that, you know, like bands will put up instrumental versions of their album that like people listen to him and they want to play the guitar or scream along to, I'd just listen to him isolated, I think. And I think it would be unreal. I
just
would
the
love
vocals
to hear
and
it.
the choirs. That's it. I just listen to that on its own. None of the
I
other
would
stuff. I'll still be into it.
I would be so into it. I think, and this like choral thing that they've done, they've really like elevated it, and it's rising. It's sort of rising everything up to this brilliant ceremony that they've been crafting, and like this real sort of sunlit, melodious enrichment for the soul. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
I just don't think you get a lot of charisma in this world, this scene, this sort of genre of bands. You don't get a lot of charisma from bands, which is hilarious considering they're a band who wear masks, so they can't even use their faces to like give you charisma. But they ooze it. Like the energy that comes out of every single performance on this record, every single member of the band is clearly having the time of their bloody lives, and they show that live as well, which I think is really important. And like every moment that happens, like every lead part, you're just like, that's just so full of passion. And like the drummer, I think the drummer in this band is like on the next level. Like he's a virtuoso, man. Like he just knows, he has this like innate skill to know when it's time to just do the groove, just do the straight beat and not do, and then time when he can switch it on and just do stuff like throw weird rhythmic ideas or just start doing like rolls or fills or these little things, these little movements that just make something that you might have started, someone who's low capacity to listen to this kind of music might start drifting off a little bit because maybe they're lost in the ether or whatever. The drummer will always be there to pull you back in, and I love that about the way that he plays and the way that he like complements this music. He's incredible. It's the whole thing is absolutely awesome. Like some of these tracks on here, like I mean bloody Hope Shatters, like that track, like I love. One of the things that I really enjoy about this record is the emotional journey, is how they can kind of go from like the Poet's Ballet, where it's really like bright and 4K elevated major, really joyful, and then they can flip into Hope Shatters and they just bring the dread up massively, and they can completely change your emotional state immediately with the way that they perform their songs. I think it's incredible, and that song just like it just hits you directly. Like it's a band like mastering a skill like in real time when you listen to that track. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely agreed, mate. I love like how Coma feels like additionally sinister for Gaerea, which is not often sort of something you sort of attribute to them, and that feels really, really cool. Wilted Flower, like that's a more posty, slower, just beautiful.
I think
the whispered parts are like ASMR.
I think Wilted Flower's got a bit of a gallop to it. Like it made me start thinking of like Wayfarer when they were doing it. It's got a bit of a sort of like Cowboys in the Desert, like
definitely
kind of feel to it. Like I really enjoyed that. World Ablaze, man. Like I know we talked about it when it came out as a single.
The black metal banger.
It bears repeating, mate. Like honestly, I think that song, it makes me think of like the heyday of post-hardcore, like Thursday and Alexis on Fire, but yet with this black metal tinge and this like additional speed and power and blast beats. But it has that same hook as like an Alexis on Fire song. Like if you listen to the guitar parts and stuff and the way it like starts, like I think that song is incredible. It's a real achievement to be able to like distill post black metal into a 3-minute banger like that. Like amazing. I mean, I know I've said that about the entire album, but that one song is just like distilling it yet again down to 3 minutes. Like it's fantastic.
And this is a band that like 2 records ago had 2 11-minute tracks on the album.
Exactly. They've come so far with just being able to be more succinct. Unknown, I think, is an incredible song. Like I really love the way that they throw in, like those like like those classic sort of 2000s metalcore discordant like lead parts. They throw that, they take something that's such a trope in another genre and bring it over into their genre, and it sounds like a completely new idea. Like I think that's a really, really clever, really cool move, and they do that a couple of times. Like there's a bit in Kingdom of Thorns where it goes almost like Killswitch, almost like Mellow Death, but like that more sort of rough and ready version of it that you got from the kind of turn of the, what they call it, the new wave of American heavy metal, those kind of bands where they really started to get inspired by Sweden, the way that they bring that in, and then there's all these like opposing lead guitar parts, and then there's that like incredible tom rhythm that all comes over on that. Like there's so many like awesome exciting moments that just make this album a real delight to be part of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's fantastic. It's like, it's, you know, if you ever wanted to convert a non-believer, like somebody that necessarily is just completely closed off against black metal, or just sort of hasn't got a clue, like someone that's completely ignorant to it as a genre, like you know, I think this is a great gateway to that. Like if you wanted to convert a non-believer, this would be it. Like, you know, the ceremony, the elegance, the grandeur, the power is all excellently on display here, but it's so digestible and it's so immediate. It's just 50 minutes of nourishment. And I know 50 minutes sounds like a long time. Me saying digestible and immediate, and then also saying the word 50-minute, like it sounds a bit hypocritical, but it really is. Like, you know, just if you needed to introduce this genre to somebody, you could send them like two different tracks that would sum up to 7 minutes from this record, and they'd be in. They'd be like, I will go to Fortress Festival next year with you, mate.
Hello.
They'd be like, yeah.
Hello, I'm over here. Mate, the thing is, like, black metal is probably one of the most like gate-kept genres that there is out there. And I really think that Gaerea could be a band to like properly break down walls the same way that Death Heaven did like 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was that they when they released Sunbather. Like, I really liked, I believe that Gaerea could be the band who go, no, like black metal could be the kind of thing that you would see on like Download or Rock Am Ring or whatever, because look at this band, they're incredible, they're so engaging to watch and to listen to. They're not just gonna like wear black robes and fill the room with smoke and do like druid noises and whatever. Like, they're an exciting cool band, but they're playing this like really classic like arcane genre of music, but they're doing it in their own way, and they're really bringing it into like 2024 like hard.
Yeah, massively. Like, you know, if you're a proper like true cult, like proper dyed in the wall black metal fan, I'd wonder how you would. But I think that they still deliver that, and then they also keep those people sort of in by having that sort of esoteric angle with the mask and all the business, like, because people, they love a bit of that, don't they? Do. Like, they're like, oh god, he was sort of running around and looked like he was having a good time, but he did have that funny mask on, didn't he? So, you know, like it's probably got a good sort of balance there between the sort of newcomers to the genre and like people that are clinging onto it.
I think you're right, man. I think you're right. Like, part of me does still believe that you sort of real true cult like gatekeepy black metal fan probably look at this and go, oh, this is mostly pop music, but they're stupid, don't listen to them. This band absolutely rule. Gaerea, Coma, out on Friday, absolutely amazing album. Make sure you
get it down, yeah.
And we'll see you very soon.
Peace.